Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo,
He.
you come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet, guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho! Who's there?
Friends to this ground.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who has relieved you?
Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo.
Say what? Is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight, twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition comes, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush. 'Twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story, what we have 2 nights seen. Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one,
Peace! Break thee off! Ah! See where it comes again?
in the same image, like the king that's dead!
If thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio!
Looks it not like the king, Market Horatio?
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio!
What art thou that usurpst this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks away!
Speak, speak, stay and speak!
'Tis gone, and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not believe it were it not for the true and sensible avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armor he had on when he the ambitious Norway combated. 'Tis strange. In the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good, now sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land. Who is that can inform me?
That can I. At least, the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even now appeared before us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact well ratified by law and heraldry did forfeit with his life all those his lands which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Now, sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes to recover of us those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the source of this our watch. But soft. Behold. Lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease, and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which haply foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast abhorred in thy life extorted treasures in the womb of earth, for which they say, you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
Oh, shall I strike at it with my partisan?
Silver will not stand. 'Tis here. What's his here?
'Tis gone, and will not answer. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it this show of violence, for it is as the air invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started, like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. But look, The morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we up our watch, and let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life this spirit dumb to us will speak to him.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we in wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance for ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking, by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colleagued with the dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, demanding the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourselves, and for this time of meeting. Thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, to suppress his nephew's purpose. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Volterman, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that in all things we will show our duty.
We doubted nothing. Heartily farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit, Laertes. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I pray you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. Come away, all. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin, and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much i' the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay. It is. I know not seams, 'tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, no windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behavior of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me. Truly, these indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as yourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come away.
Oh, that this to solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon 'gainst self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this but 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not to so excellent a king, that was to this Hyperion, to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face. Too roughly heaven and earth must I remember why she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on frailty, thy name is woman, a little month ere yet those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears, why she, even a beast that once, discourse of reason, would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart. For I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio? Oh, I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. But what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus!
My good lord.
Very glad to see you. Good evening, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
I would not hear your enemies say so. I know you are no truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, fellow student, do not mock me. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
I was a man. Take him for all in all, I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father. Let me hear.
2 nights together have these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, in their watch, in the dead vast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, appears before them. My lord, I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
Oh, yes, my lord, but answer made it none.
'Tis very strange.
Upon my life, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to tell you of it.
Indeed, indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe?
My lord, from head to foot.
Then saw you not his face.
Oh, yes, my lord.
What looked he? Frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
Would I had been there.
It would have most amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long?
As one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Oh, longer.
Longer.
Not when I saw.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was as I have seen it in his life, a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. So, fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to
your
your
honor.
honor.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms, all is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come, till then sit still, my soul, foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them, to men's eyes.
Laertes!
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy as assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet and the trifling of his favor hold it a fashion, and a toy in blood. A violet in the youth of primy nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute no more.
No more, but
Think
so.
it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor coddle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear, his greatness weighed, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. For on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, aboard for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing on thee. And these few precepts in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is't, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affections. Pah! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
I will teach you. Think yourself a baby that you have ta'en his tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase running at us, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to. Be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed. And it draws near the season in which the Spirit held its wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse. Keeps wassail.
Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements. Why the sepulchre wherein we saw thee, quietly inurned, hath oped his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again? What may this mean that thou, dead corse, again in complete steel revisits thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous, and we, fools of nature, so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls? Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some apartment to desire to you alone.
See with what a courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. Go on. I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out. Still am I called. Unhand me, gentlemen, by heaven. I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away. Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and in the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. List, list, oh list! If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul is in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation, or thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand e'en with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. Soft. Methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed poison in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment. So was I, sleeping, by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin. No reckoning made, sent to my accounts with all my imperfections on my head.
Oh, horrible, oh, horrible.
Most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns which in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and begins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. 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 Remember me!
All you host of heaven. Earth. What else? And shall I? Couple hell? Fuck! Hold my heart, and you my sinews grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee, aye, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee, yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial, fond records, all saws of books, all forms and pressures past that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter, yes, by heaven. Most pernicious woman, villain, smiling, damned villain, my tables. Meat it is, I set it down that one may smile, and be a villain, at least I am sure. It may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now, to my word, it is adieu. Adieu, remember me. I have sworn.
Lord!
So be it.
Heaven securing.
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Wonderful.
Well, good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
No, my lord, by heaven.
How say you then? Would heart of man once think it? But you'll be secret.
By heaven, my lord.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an errant knave.
There needs, my lord, no ghost come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right, you are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands in part. You as your business and desire shall point you, for every man has business and desire, such as it is. And for mine own poor part, look you, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
Sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick! But there is, Horatio, and much offense too, touching this vision here. It is an honest ghost. That, let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholars and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is, my lord, we will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear.
Ha, boy! Sayest thou so? Art thou there, true penny? Come on, you hear this fellow in the cellarage. Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword. Swear. Ah, hic et nubique, then we'll shift our ground. Come hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands again upon my sword. Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword. Swear. Ah, well said, old mole. Canst work of the earth so fast. A worthy pioneer. Once more remove, good friends.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I, perchance, hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at such times, seeing me, never shall with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase to note that you know aught of me. This do swear, so grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear. Rest, perturbed spirit.
I swear.
I swear.
So, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend me to you, and what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. Come, let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right.